Welcome to I Heart Geek.
And welcome to another episode of I Heart Geek. This is the way. Another Mandolorian episode, and oh my gosh, I think we're keeping the same panel for the rest of this episode. For the rest of this season.
Yes, I have a job. I have a job.
It doesn't pay, but you have a job.
But you have
It's wonderful.
Purpose is good.
Okay, so let me introduce the panel. Because we got to jump right into this episode. It was amazing. Okay, I am Dub, and I'm your producer. And with me we have Christina, the Cheeky Chi. How are you doing today?
I am phenomenal.
With your new Baby Yoda green screen.
Baby Yoda?
Neato, yeah. And then another Baby Yoda. We got Miss Satomi Hoffman. Got the Baby Yoda on the shirt.
Yes, I brought my Baby Yoda with me today. You haters gonna hate,
and we
on
know
him
who that
eating
hater
the
is.
eggs. But I still have the Baby Yoda love.
Okay. And we are going to come off with the fire of 1,000 hells in a second on that. Okay. And finally we have Mr. Chris Giorgetti. How are you doing today?
Oh, I am so happy to be here. And after watching this episode, I am just it was so good. Also, I do have my merch with me with my Baby Yoda. I got to join in on the fun.
I'm the only non-Baby Yoda owner, I guess.
Which one did you get? Did you order the one from Hot Topic yet?
Oh boy, there's way too much merch already. This is like Garfield all over again. This is Baby Yoda is becoming the Kiss of the Star Wars universe. Yeah,
I kind of want that, but
I'm waiting for my Yoda coffin.
Listen, I didn't think Blythe was on this show.
No, I'm not saying it like that. No, you took that all out of context. Kiss had a limited edition coffin you could buy, which Dimebag Daryl was buried in, by the way. And you could have a Kiss trademarked coffin. And I was wondering if there's a Baby Yoda trademarked coffin.
I'm sure if you give Disney enough time, they will do it.
That is not even a little surprise. Go ahead.
As I say, I do want to say this to Blythe. I am personally not a huge Star Wars fan. I apologize to the boys in the room. I love the original 3, but I didn't fall in love with the rest of it. The Mandalorian made me fall back in love with all of the great things about Star Wars. So suck it up, Buttercup.
Well, as I've said before, I think that The Mandalorian is the first thing we've had of Star Wars since the original trilogy. The rest has been something else. We like it or not, I'm not going to judge you, but I think this is the first truly great thing we've seen since Return,
brilliant.
Since the end of Return.
I'm wondering if it's because the team behind it is truly a team. Like they have different directors for each episode, and Jon Favreau is
because Jon Favreau is the Star Wars god.
Yeah, well, you've got all of these super fans that are together, and they're sort of kind of keeping each other in check as well as and then you've got Big Boss Man keeping the vision unified. So I think we're getting something that's I think it was a chow
with the blue tongue.
Chow. We actually have a dancer at the show named Xiao Xiao, so I'm confusing myself. One of the directors, I'm blanking on her first name, but and now I've lost my point. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. That's a show. We'll see you later.
Wow. And I swear to God, there is no drinking before the episode.
There isn't.
Well, in your studio, leave the rest of us alone.
Well, somebody just got fired.
She was saying something about they're all fans of the show.
Yeah.
Oh, and she wanted to make sure that whatever was put on screen was something that as a fan she would want to watch.
That's
and I
fair.
think that's what we're seeing a lot in this series.
I can actually completely get behind that because that's what this feels like. It doesn't feel like fanfic, but it definitely feels like it was for the fans instead of this money-making machine. Let's try to get more fans. No, let's go after the fans we already have that love the product already. Speaking of people that love the product already, if you're not a Star Wars fan and you want to gripe about Yoda and the egg thing, shut up. I'm done. I am done. It's a fictional character. He did not commit genocide.
He
He
had
didn't. He did
purpose.
not. And
No.
if people were listening to the Frog Lady, she says, "This is the last of my bloodline, not the entire species, her personal bloodline." So it's like, this is why I don't go on the internet.
Yeah. No, I've been really irritated by this. I'm like, people, do you want to ruin everything we have? I mean,
I think
stop
that's
it.
a given.
Well, I mean, not only that, but what you're also seeing, I think throughout the series is his learning process.
Yeah.
So they take shots back to the child, looking and taking in what's happened, taking in the battles, taking in the decisions, and you see him in this episode
Grow.
take in the birth of these eggs and have the little tadpole, squirt out there. We got to get the sound effect.
No, that's nice.
Out
That's
there.
outstanding. It
And
pooped out a tadpole.
pooped out a tadpole, as one does, too
For
much
science,
Chipotle. And and then he's like digging it, and he wants to take it home.
Yeah,
at the end
he
of
fell
it.
in
So
love
it's like
with
you see him learn. You're
Yeah.
seeing his learning process.
But I also, sorry.
If you did listen last week, this is what we did discuss this. This is definitely, we picked up on this. As I say, this is a bunch of non-fans that can go suck an egg. It's a non-fan thing. If you're a fan and you understand kind of this a process, it's okay. And we'll get off of this in just a minute. Go ahead, Christina.
I was gonna say, I also love that when Mendo took him back to them, and he's like, "Mind your manners," and you know what I mean. Like,
yes.
So there was that moment of discipline too, that was like, making it clear that this wasn't going to happen again. No more shenanigans.
I'm gonna throw a baby octopus on you, Yin.
And to piggyback off what Satomi was saying, like when you saw him in this Baby Yoda in this episode, like see the birth of the tadpole, you saw it in his eyes, like he connected the dots instantly, like, oh, I shouldn't have eaten those eggs, maybe. But it's also just seeing his like curiosity and amazement and wonder of the world around him is what makes him so lovable and probably the best character on the show.
Yeah. So as I say, he isn't just a clickbait machine. I think this is important. And I'm not at the beginning by the last episode. I'm like, oh, okay, I'm kind of getting done with this. With this, it really renewed faith in, okay, this is a good character again. It's not just cute for cute's factor. It is moving the story forward. Okay,
Yes.
So let's move the story forward a little bit. First thing I want to discuss is the repurposed AT-AT that turned into a crane.
Yes.
I don't know why that brought me so much joy. I kept rewinding it. I mean, I almost had tears in my eyes. It was just it felt so good. I don't know what it was. I know a lot of people have that visceral reaction to it.
Well, it's very much like, when you see it, like I love old cars. So, it's that whole thing of like when you see something that has history in it that's in this world now. It just, again, we talked about this, I think, in the first episode. Just how this world is so fully fleshed out, and that includes that whole thing that that war was not
Yeah, I get
words
it.
apparently are very difficult for me tonight.
Words bad.
Words bad. Words bad. Thoughts. Feel just Vulcan mind meld with me, y'all, and you'll know what I mean. You'll know what I mean.
It does make sense. Like, okay, let's take SpaceX happened today, and the space race. We get so many inventions out of what happened with the space race, with all the Tang, and there's like 7 million, the ballpoint pen. There's like 7 million things that we have because of that. Why
freeze dried ice cream?
But why wouldn't they take parts of this machinery and repurpose it to better things?
Yes.
And then go ahead.
Sean thought it was beyond cool. He made me rewind it like 2 or 3 times. He was like, "Shut up! That's a repurposed AT-AT. Back it up! Back it up!" It was so funny.
It was really cool. So who was it that wanted to discuss about the razor falling?
Oh,
Okay,
pick
go
me.
ahead. Go ahead.
Pick
Go
me.
go ahead, Chris.
So Bryce Dallas Howard directed this episode, and for those of you who don't know who Bryce Dallas Howard is, she is the daughter of Ron Howard from the Happy Days. Ron Howard
And Opie. Opie is more important.
For our younger listeners, Google it.
And a million hit films.
Yeah.
P.S.
One of those being Apollo 13. There's a sequence in Apollo 13 where you see the space capsule come through the Earth's atmosphere and the condensation like falling off the computer instruments. Bryce Dallas Howard paid tribute to her father's film with that sequence in this episode where you see the Razor Crest going through the atmosphere, the condensation coming off the computers, and it was really cool. It was really cool. And I only realized it was a tribute to her father by going on the internet, which I said 5 seconds ago. I don't really go on. Yes. But I still thought that was really cool that she did that.
Now, Satomi, you also said that that reminds you of Firefly when Serenity.
Oh, Serenity. Yeah. I mean, instantly as they took that entry, I thought I was watching the opening sequence to the film Serenity, especially at the end when they take off and they leave that little spinning piece of debris behind. And I was just waiting for Mal to be like, "What the heck?
Yeah.
What was that? What was that?"
But watching it come apart, it was just, I don't know. Again, another visceral reaction. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is like every car I had in high school. That's so cool.
Wait, you had all the cargo net and like random little squids running around your car in high school?
I had
Ew,
mold
ew.
running around in there and some other
So we
stuff.
never wanted to put a black light in there, huh?
No. My old 66. I had a 66 Ranchero, and I'll leave it at that.
Oh, that's cool.
I had a tar.
I love how he brings it down and he, it's going to land perfect. And all of a sudden it just flips into the water.
Did anybody see that coming?
No.
Did not see that coming, but that's where I had my visceral reaction because when Sean and I were dating, he hit black ice and he flipped his blazer and it felt like he was going to recover and then it flipped into the ditch full of ice water on my side.
Oh my God.
I felt that. Like I unbelievably felt that.
Oh, those redneck roots are coming out right now on everybody. This is awesome. I'm loving this. Okay, so let's talk about the calamari, which is the planet of Admiral Akbar's. And I wanted one of them to say, "It's a trap!" So bad.
So bad.
Especially because it was. Now, you guys, I did have a moment where I was like, it's a trap. Why is he not getting this? The guy even had an evil laugh. Yeah, I can get you there.
Show him. The kid wants to see it.
Even before they even left the bar, I'm like, Mando, really, are you going to trust everybody? I'm really concerned for his decision making.
This is why him and the Amy Sedaris character are friends.
I'm not bad. I just make bad decisions.
A lot of them, constantly. Oh, okay. So I think this is another thing that I picked up on with the water. I don't remember what it was called, and I apologize for that. I watched this twice, and I cannot remember what they called the creature in the bottom of the ship.
The water sarlacc.
Yes, it looks like a baby sarlacc.
The aqua sarlacc.
Is it? It looks like the cousin of sarlacc.
I get it. It would be like a salamander, the ones that go in the water versus
a gecko.
A gecko, sure.
Lizard's a lizard, hey.
Yeah, I mean, different strokes, different, same family, different.
But that was the first thing that popped in my head. I'm like, is that a water sarlacc? Is that a thing? And I was like, well, which was cool because you go from one planet, the last planet which had the sarlacc, to this planet which didn't, because it was all full of calamari.
I thought they were going to go underwater. I got to be honest. I was kind of waiting for that. Anybody else?
That would have been cool.
Right? I was wondering.
Like, the Cthulhu people take the Mandalorian underwater.
I mean,
that's
people.
I mean, that's what they look like. They got with the tentacles.
They do.
Yeah. Okay, so let's not get into the folklore and what this means yet, but let's talk about the incredible joy you get when you see the 3 Mandalorians jump on the boat and just go do some damage. I'm like, this is what I want to see. I want to see this on the big screen. I got to turn my stereo up. This is amazing. And with the different design helmets and everything else, you're just like, oh, this is what I've been waiting for.
Bo-Katan's helmet was, her whole outfit was awesome. Like I want to wear that real bad. So now I want to ask because I have not watched. I'm sorry, I have not watched the animated series. So
Nobody has that much time in their life.
I want to ask. Well, apparently Chris Giorgetti does. So I want to. So I want to ask, what are the similarities that they, or what are the things that they brought from the animated series into this episode?
So the armor for Bo-Katan is the same design from the cartoons. The actress who voiced Bo-Katan,
Katie Sackhoff.
Thank you.
Of Battlestar Galactica.
Fun fact: I've never seen Battlestar Galactica.
I
know.
I'm the same.
I know.
I
I'm
revoke
sorry.
your geek card.
No, I just got here.
Okay,
but anyway, the actress who voiced Bo-Katan in the animated series also played her.
Yeah, which is a nice touch.
And I went back and looked at Bo-Katan's animated self, and they basically based the character off her, which is amazing. So
perfect.
I'm loving that they're not afraid to take from different bits of the Star Wars universe and blend it perfectly into this story.
And we're pretty sure that this is not the last we've seen of her.
Oh no,
not by
there's
a long
no way.
shot.
So the monster was a mama core. I had to find it out. And that face when she said she was going to take your card, you made the Baby Yoda face. You are my new hero.
Okay, so let's first talk about what's the first thing we learn with the Mandalorian showing up. That wow, not all the Mandalorians are like that. He is in a cult. You know, those religious overtones. I'm like, oh, so you guys are zealots. This explains a lot.
Apparently he's from a Game of Thrones cult because it's called The Watch. So
which is ironic because he
next
was
episode
is
going to be Jon Snow.
Well, he was in Game of Thrones. You know that, right?
Yeah.
I don't. Who was he?
Pedro Pascal. Yeah, Prince Oberyn. He was the guy that got killed by the mountain at the end, or that fought the mountain and killed the mountain.
Yes, thank you.
Yes,
thank you. Okay.
Yes, we have crossovers everywhere. Kids.
I didn't recognize him. All right.
Well,
I mean, that's
maybe it's because he's wearing a mask.
You can. Well, there's that.
There's that little thing. I knew it because I'm a prolific studier of the art of acting, and I knew how he moved his body. And I'm full of crap right now, but it's all good. It's one of those
yes,
things.
you are. But we love you, so it's okay.
Which was, I think that was I think that's going to be very important going forward. Definitely write that down in your notebooks, kids.
I absolutely loved that twist to the whole mythology and the mythos of our Mandalorian. Learning that he's part of this cray-cray cult.
There was a kidnapped in the first place,
Yeah, I was like, my jaw was on the floor when she said that. I'm like,
and yet, because of what we learn later in the episode, is he part of a cult or is she?
Wait, hold on to that because I want to get to that, and that's going to be a big one.
Okay, we can bookmark that, but I'm just saying.
Dog ear that. What I think is going to be, I think there's been 3 moments in the show that have been like jaw-dropping that you've learned. And I think 2 of them came from this episode. The first one that we just discussed and the one we'll talk about next time. And then last season when we kind of learned about the armor and they don't take the mask off and all that. That's the three biggest moments I think of the mythology of Mandalore. So I think that's going to be very interesting. All you wrestling fans out there, what'd you think of Sasha Banks being in there? I think they realized real quick she can't act because they didn't give her no lines. A pretty lady. She has that.
She can kick your butt, right? I mean,
I'm sure she can. She's also married to a seamstress, so it's all good, Hey.
So she can kick your butt, but she'll look fabulous while she's doing it.
She will absolutely fabulous.
yes.
Yeah, and it does say, I think that she does wonderful things in the ring, but I think that they realized, oh, she's playing herself on wrestling and she can't do anything else.
Well, that's the thing is, there's this assumption, and I'm not going to go too much on high horse, but there's this assumption that acting is easy, and it's a craft. It's a craft.
It's easy.
Well, it is when there's no pressure on it. And, true, anybody can do it,
but can they do it well?
Can they do it well, and then can they do it on command? Because that's where it is when there's literally tens of thousands of dollars being spent sometimes per minute, and they need it now, and that's something that a lot of people can't do. It's actually public speaking is one of the top 3 fears.
It is. It's terrifying. That's why I'm behind a computer screen.
Yeah, here we are.
Acting is hard. It's really hard. Like, it's so hard. But Sasha Banks,
it's worth mentioning the very adult look she gave when she was eating the octopus, and I was like, that's creepy. Okay.
She was fantastic because, as physically, because she portrayed. I mean, she's badass, if I'm allowed to say that.
Yes.
Okay.
We decided that last week, I think. Satomi.
Yes. You're welcome. You're welcome.
But yeah, she's great when she does her promos in the ring, because like for pro wrestling, they kind of just improv everything to begin with. But the 2 or 3 lines she had in this episode, it was like, okay, you can't do this.
You can't do this. You need to dye your hair blue again because it'll look cooler as a Mandalorian. Because you're wearing a blue outfit anyway. Okay, so before we get on to the next big reveal, let's talk about the music that they were hitting. Especially when they jump onto the new, I don't know what else to call them, so we'll call them the old Empire ship. Just a very, very cool kick drum that was done completely digitally, just with like the static. And I was like expecting 9 Inch Nails to jump in at any moment. I'm like, this is so good. It really caught my ear.
It kind of reminded me of the music when he was fighting the Mudhorn in season 1. It had a similar feel to it. But yeah, Ludwig Göransson, I think is his name. He's a brilliant composer.
Yeah,
give him all the awards.
Just very, very, very well done. And as the engineer in me was just like, I'm in heaven right now. This is so cool. And I don't know if anybody else noticed, but I was like, yes.
Oh, heck
I was so thankful I had my sound bar on. I don't always turn it on, like if I'm watching it later at night. And I was so glad I had it on because it just kind of washed around me. And it was pretty epic.
Nice.
The dude abides. I'm sorry, we just did a Tron episode. I apologize.
I was actually going to say it had little flecks of Daft Punk going in there, and there's that, just that like grabbing you from your rear and just lifting you up. Like it's essentially the this is going to be good music.
Yeah. So let's talk about the next big reveal, which was Moff Gideon shows up again. I'm loving this character more and more every time we see him. He makes Darth Vader look like a wuss to me.
Those are strong words.
I'm not, and I don't take them back even a little bit. There's something about his presence and the way he's carrying that part that is like, yeah. And if he looks at you, you know you're gonna die. There is no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
Well, but he's got that same energy on The Boys. Like I'm starting to notice, like he's sort of cornering the market on
Breaking Bad.
Calm people that you are terrified of.
Wait! Giancarlo Esposito's on The Boys?
Yes.
I need to watch the show
Yes.
now.
You haven't? Oh, shame on you.
How have
I
you
know there are.
You
I live under a rock
I
when it comes to
guess.
some things. I'm
we will
I'm
yell
putting
at you
on
after the show.
probation.
okay.
So who wants to give the next big reveal spoiler that we've kind of sort of learned from this? So Tommy, I think you wanted to give it because you got that look like I can't believe.
Oh, I mean, I am more than happy. Well, sure, I'll
With
do
the
it. Why
dark
not?
saber, yes.
The dark saber. So Bo-Katan is searching for the dark saber that Moff Gideon apparently has, which makes me wonder. We talked about this a little bit, but is Bo-Katan really on the right side of the of the Force? She
'Cause-
does say it's an it belongs to her, and
to
she's
her because
believed
she's
that
the
it's
heiress.
because she's the heiress, and she's got, it's been was it 300 generations that she's had her armor,
Mm-hmm.
and so she doesn't think she can take back the throne without the dark saber, which begs the question.
Dark side. What the Mandalorians, except for the way of the Mandalore,
And the
are
watch.
are they the evil?
Are they
do,
the evil, or are they
do they
actually
bathe in the dark side?
or is the watch the ones who's trying to get them back to the good side of the Force? Yes, you
Chris
know
is
what?
about to pop right
Chris,
now.
yes, he is. He's about to explode.
I kind of want to make. I kind of want to
Then
make him
he
wait for a minute. Though.
exploded.
Go ahead, Chris.
He's melting.
So I could like this.
He's literally, if you're listening to this instead of watching, he's literally sweating right now. He wants to get this
You
out so
have to
bad.
watch.
This
like
is
my
amazing.
my face is turning red and it's hot right now.
Matching your
'cause-
shirt.
Yes.
go
right-
ahead, fire away.
All
You're
I was
die.
gonna say before, there's a lot about the dark saber from the cartoons I could get into, but we need like a whole episode about the dark saber and what it means. But there's a reason why Bo-Katan's going after it, and that's all I'll say.
That's all.
Well, can you tell us?
Yes, in the cartoon.
I can't
That's
tell
all
you.
I'll
I'll have
say,
to kill
yes.
you, but
Oh,
sure.
I was trying to build suspense, but basically, before Moff Gideon got it, she in the cartoons held the darksaber, which meant she was the ruler of the Mandalorians. So I want to know how Moff Gideon took it from her,
Yeah.
and I want to know what's gonna happen with these other Mandalorians from Mandalore if Moff Gideon has it.
And is there going to be? We're assuming some of the Watchers still alive. So is this going to be a war for that? Is that what drew? Is that what destroyed the Mandalore in the first place? And why they're all in hiding?
To
Well,
be
you
the
know,
bearer of the dark saber, do you have to be on the dark side?
That's the
No.
question.
Yeah. Because why are they fighting the Empire if they're on the dark side? Wouldn't they have the same motive and the same? Oh, and he's dancing. You have to watch
I'm
this.
dancing because
Don't listen. Chris is dancing.
I'm such a nerd when it comes to like Star Wars. So the dark saber, real brief, was the lightsaber that was the lightsaber that was built by the only Mandalorian Jedi is the dark saber.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
And-
now I have chills. Now I'm dancing.
So what happened was after the first Jedi died, he passed it down to the Mandalorians, said basically whoever has this rules Mandalorian. It's been like the thing.
Oh my
so there is
gosh.
huge
And was
significance.
that first Mandalorian Jedi? Was he a Jedi for the dark side?
No, he was a Jedi. He was a Jedi
Oh, I
Knight.
mean, he was a Jedi. Okay,
Huh.
because so why is it called the dark saber?
because it's
dark?
It's the only black lightsaber in Star Wars.
You'd figure Samuel L. Jackson would have that one, but it's all good.
Wow.
Look,
Chris,
he had-
you for
he
real
had the-
gave me chills. That was
going
so
purple.
That's
awesome.
that was
awesome.
Wow, I think that's a show.
Awesome.
I know we have a couple more things, but I think we just blew our. Yeah, I can't say that. I feel like we just finished right there, so that was fantastic.
Need a cigarette after that? Sorry.
A little bit. This was wow. We are so close to losing that.
I want to
family
keep
friendly.
talking about this dark saber. It's
Oh.
very exciting.
But we got to move on. We have to. Otherwise, we'll be here all
Oh,
night.
Fine.
Okay.
Fine.
It's all my fault. I'm sorry.
So
You have
well,
your geek card back. I bestow it back upon you. Yes.
Yes.
but we also learned that the new Mandalore are not going to honor a deal like the Mandalorian does.
Yes, and they said this is the way. She said this is the way when she did not honor that. So it makes you wonder what their code is.
Or do they have one at all?
Or
Is
do
that
they
only
have
for
a
the
code?
watch? Stop, Chris. You're about to blow up again.
This episode was so good. It had so much. It made me so happy.
Yeah.
Okay, fill us in.
It was just, I'm just like, when she
I'm just going to
said,
let you just talk for the rest of the time.
Yeah. And our interview with Chris Giorgetti, and go.
thank you for hour number 3. We'll be talking about, when she said this is the way with kind of that sarcastic, snarky tone, I was like, ooh, things are going to happen. My excitement in this moment was just because of this whole episode was just so flipping good.
This
Yeah.
episode is why we love Star Wars.
I have
Oh,
one
yeah.
complaint about this episode.
Then I don't want to hear it. Okay, so sorry. So Chris. Okay, so tell me, what is your one complaint?
My one complaint is I thought it was too short.
Yes, it was.
I don't
would
think
I
agree
so.
thought
with
it was
that.
too short.
I wanted it to go more, but remember what we talked about with the whole delayed gratification for this show?
It wasn't
That-
about
if
knowing
it
what
would've been
happened
longer,
after.
I don't want it longer. I
It
want to
wasn't
wait.
about knowing what happened after. It was about sometimes the battles seemed a little too easily fought and won. So I was like I could have used a little more of that first battle when they came in and saved him, and then
Yeah.
the one where Cthulhu comes and is like, you killed my brother,
And,
and
you know,
and it was like no, I killed your brother. Bang, that's done. Come on, let's go have a drink.
and those guys seem badder than the Mandalorian to me.
Yeah,
All 3 of them do.
yeah. And so
Yeah.
I wanted just a little bit. I don't know. I just wanted just a little more right there.
Fair
But-
enough.
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that.
Okay, so let's round the corner and talk about the end. Did we talk about the baby tadpole?
Yes, we talked about
Yes,
the
we
baby
talked about
tadpole.
that. I didn't know if we did that
Yes.
beforehand or not. Okay,
And the
so
adorable, I don't need another pet.
I don't need another pet.
Or-
We didn't really talk about Baby Yoda at all this time, but I think it was an important part this time because this is a time we actually seem to have seen him grow.
we talked about that at the beginning of the episode.
We did, but I'm reiterating because it's the end.
You know what we didn't talk about was the moment when the frog lady and the frog man reunited.
Oh.
That was just the most sweet thing. And I'm not even an amphibian fan, but I was like everybody that was watching with us, we were all like, oh, because it was just, I didn't know a frog could actually express joy like that. Like,
They can't.
she was for real
It's
smiling,
fictional.
guys.
It's fictional, just like Baby Yoda. They can't.
Thanks.
Frogs have
Thanks.
feelings too.
Just Chris, build us up. You slam us to the ground.
My 7th grade biology teacher told me they don't have any feelings and it was okay what we were doing. So.
Oh God,
Oh,
your 7th grade biology
please
teacher's
let that
going to
be
hell.
dissection. Please let that be dissection.
Oh.
I don't want to know where else you were going with that.
Legs.
Virgin ears.
Family friendly.
Frog legs.
Frog legs. No. Mm-mm.
I've
It tastes
had
like
them
chicken.
before.
I'd rather have chicken.
My brother lives in Louisiana and he eats them all the time. And I'm just like, he's like, you got to try them. I'm like, no, I don't.
It's just veiny chicken. Then I'll just have some chicken. Okay, and that was pretty much the whole episode, honestly. And no, I'm serious. It really was.
Pretty much.
This was
Veiny
a
chicken
fantastic.
and scene.
This was a fantastic episode. This, not us, the
Okay.
Mandalorian. We were okay.
We're all right.
We're all right. This episode was something special. I totally forgive remember when I said that I'd have to regrade the other 2 after when we came back? Suddenly they went from C's to, I think those are at least at a B now. This episode's an A, easy. And this is only the second A I think I'd give the entire series. Against itself. It was that good, and they set the bar really high. So where do y'all grade this one at? Let's start with Christina.
Definitely an A. We didn't talk about this, but I loved that Titus Welliver was in there. Like, he's Bosch, and even though he wasn't in there for a big part,
It was big enough.
right at the end, you really see, right at the end, you really see that personality come out. And I was hoping he was going to be in there longer, so that part was a little bit disappointing.
How cool how he went.
But solid. Yeah, how cool how he went. But definitely from beginning to end, it was a nonstop fun and nonstop reveals. And then Chris just made it like, ooh. So thank you for that, Chris.
I'm gonna make Chris wait for last. How about you, Satomi?
Well, before we had this discussion, I was at an A-. And that, because of what Chris enlightened me about, it's popped it right back up to an A. I have so much respect for Bryce Dallas Howard and how she, she really focuses on the storytelling. All of these directors do, but she's an actor's director, so she really focuses on getting those stories told. And I just, she had that little moments of humor injected into it, like, Glock, okay, close the doors. Where did you close them? In the cargo control. Where?
Yeah.
So, it had humor. It had
The chowder thing was funny. All that.
The chowder
stuff,
thing was funny, and then it
Although
had all the
disgusting,
thrills.
yeah. Oh.
Yes,
Oh,
delightful.
Outstanding. Okay, Chris, go.
I give this episode.
Everyone's backing off like, what?
I give this episode an A.
Outstanding.
Bryce Dallas Howard, fantastic director. This was the best episode of this season so far. The only reason why I don't give it an A+ is because it was too short. I wanted it to be like 2-3 minutes longer. Other than that, it was perfect.
Oh, I totally agree with you on that one.
Hello.
Well, we just froze for a second. No biggie. Yeah, so we're gonna have this weird spot that everyone's gonna like. It's absolutely beautiful.
Dub broke. Somebody broke Dub.
I broke the internets and stuff.
It happens.
Stuffs. Okay, so that was an episode. Oh man, I can't wait for next week. I am so excited for this. Satomi, you want to tell us about our favorite charity real quick?
Broadway Hearts. Check us out as broadwayhearts.org. Help out some kids in hospitals and their families. And we have a lot of fun doing it. So you can also donate at broadwayhearts.org.
Outstanding. Also check out our Patreon if you don't want to hear us have to do 20 and 30 commercials an episode, which I know you don't want to because I listen to podcasts and I hate having to fast forward all those. Give to our Patreon and that will guarantee that the show gets kept free and ad-free. So until next time, I'm Dub, and with me is Christina, the Cheeky Chi. We have Satomi Hoppin, and we have Chris Giorgetti. And keep on geeking on. This is the way, and Baby Yoda rocks, and Blythe sucks if he doesn't agree.
Chris, do the dance.
Hello, our geek rock stars. I'm Satomi Hoffman with I Heart Geek, and we heart you. And I'm going to tell you about a way that you can heart us back. So here's the deal. I Heart Geek has just launched our Patreon page. This is a chance for you to help us with production costs and help us keep bringing these podcasts to you. Not a lot of people know it. We don't make any money making this podcast, but we do it because we heart geek, we heart bringing it to you, and we heart obsessing over the things that you heart. So how do you become involved? Super simple. There are 4 tiers of support. The first tier of support is only $3 a month, about the price of a cup of coffee if you don't go to Starbucks. And we will love you like we love Baby Yoda, except for Blythe, who doesn't feel the Baby Yoda love, which... So now tier 2 is $5 a month, which now we're talking like a drip coffee and a cookie. And for that, we'll display your name during the show and also put you in the end credits. Name recognition, y'all. Now tier 3, $10 a month. Now we're getting into the nitty gritty. We will actually take your suggestions and we will put them in the rotation of the show. So whatever you obsess about, which we already probably obsess about, we will obsess about on air. All right, now we're talking tier 4. 4. We're talking the Triforce Excalibur Infinity Gauntlet level of subscription. $20 a month will get you as a regular rotational cast member on the show. We'll have you come on, we'll discuss the things that you heart, the things that we heart, we'll argue, we'll laugh, we'll have a great time, and you will have made I Heart Geek better for your subscription. And of course, you can tell all your friends, hey, haha, I'm on a podcast. So there you have it. 4 easy ways to help I Heart Geek become a listener-supported podcast, and you get something in return. We heart you, we thank you, we heart geek, and remember to keep on geeking on.
You have been listening to the latest episode of the I Heart Geek Show. Make sure you visit our website at www.iheartgeekshow.com. Make sure to follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. And if you check us out on YouTube, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And keep on geeking on to all of you geek rock stars.